Surprise, it's us. Excuse me. Welcome to Astro Insights Live. We are Rose Tarot and Astrology. My name is Jennifer Rose, and below me is my sweet wife and my Valentine forever, Mel Rose, astrologer extraordinaire. Today, we are going to talk about Saturn meeting Neptune in Aries. This is a big new beginning. Okay, this is a brand new start. This is astrology that we may not see again for the rest of our lives, right? Like,
Yeah.
so today, what we do here on Astro Insights, first of all, thank you so much for joining. If this is your first time, I'm going to explain to you how our show works. But if you're here right now and you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We're only about 150 people away from being able to monetize, and we would really appreciate that. Also, we are here every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time doing Astro Insights Live. And what does that mean? Okay, so we're going to talk about the astrology forecast for the week ahead. Actually, Mel will do that in our Astrology Today segment, which will come in right after this introduction. And then Mel and I will discuss our favorite astrological aspects of the week. And at the end, we're going to round it out with a tarot card reading to get you started for the week. So this is going to be a pretty intense week. So hopefully you've got your coffee or whatever it is that you're drinking this morning ready to listen here and think about how this might affect you and other people that are in your lives. I want to say, if you already don't know your big three in astrology, if you go to Rose Tarot and Astrology, we have a little link there where you can send us a message with all the information and we can at least reply to you and give you your big three. And in order to have big three, the third part of that is you would have to have the birth time. So it's no big deal if you don't have it. But anyway, if you need your big three, let us know. We can look that up for you real quick. But I'm going to quit talking now so we can go ahead and start talking about this really important astrology that is happening next week. I'm going to turn it over to my sweet love, Mel Rose, so she can go on with Astrology Today.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that lovely introduction. And hey, why do we want to know our big three? Like that's our sun, our moon, and our rising sign. The reason we want to know our rising sign, which is based on where we were born and at what time we were born, is because that's how we know best where these things that are happening out in the sky and going on in the world are impacting us personally in our chart. So for example, Neptune and Saturn are making a conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries this week, and that's the 10th house of my chart, which means that is going to have an impact on my public life, my roles in public life, my sense of public dignity and respectability, if you will. So, I look for things to be changing, starting off anew, coming up in the 10th house of my chart, which is my public roles, but that will be different for everybody else. For example, Jennifer's rising sign is opposite mine. So it will be going down in her 4th house, which is more about her home and her family of origin. So that's why we want to know our rising signs. Please get in touch if you want to find out what that information is. Friends, the beginning is here. It's here. This week is full of it. Beginnings, that is. This week contains the Lunar New Year. It is a new moon, which is a beginning, and the first eclipse of the year, a solar eclipse, and it is the beginning of Pisces season. But that's not all that's going on. We are at the precipice of a whole new zodiacal year. The spring equinox is only a month out from now, not as far as you may think. But the beginning of the next 35 years really starts this week. It's now, or more to the point, it's this Friday when Saturn and Neptune, this Friday when Saturn and Neptune meet with perfection at 0 degrees of Aries at the very, very beginning of the zodiacal cycle. This conjunction happens every 36 years, and in recorded history, it has never happened at this powerful point in the zodiac. So we are in new territories. We are entering new territories, friends. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Astro Insights. I am Mel Rose, your host, and I'm so happy you could join me today. Today is Sunday, February 15, 2026. Thank you for liking the video, subscribing, commenting, and sharing these videos with people that you know. I couldn't be happier to be here than to be here sharing these astrological and intuitive insights with you right now. The big conjunction this week of Saturn and Neptune is putting a massive, like, exclamation point on a larger collectively experienced shift from water to fire, from emotion to action. Like walking out of the lake and finding a box of matches. We no longer feel the drag of emotion and illusion holding us back. This week, we can find ourselves standing on dry ground and being called into action. But let's back up and take this day by day. Today is Sunday the 15th, and it's the day after Valentine's Day. And this has actually been a really good past week for thinking about what we want in a larger, more collective sense. What contributes to the collective experience of being loved and supported? Venus is in Pisces, exalted, feeling relaxed and groovy, held and beautiful, and hanging out with the North Node, which invites us to think about that greater trajectory of the things that we are asking for, that we are calling in. Where is our desire taking us? Saturn has just entered Aries after 3 years in Pisces, and it's a wonderful feeling to dry out a little bit and to lighten our loads, so to speak. The sun today is in Aquarius, and the moon is also in Aquarius today. With the sun and moon in Aquarius today through Tuesday, I think we will find that our attention is very much on the world at large, as well as the groups we are a part of, and what we can do to achieve greater things together. It's a great time to gather your allies and talk about your plans. The sun will square Uranus this evening, and that indicates like a stop sign to regard, to observe, to take in something that is unconventional, especially in the public facing life. So maybe out here in the world, maybe it'll be on the news, or maybe it'll be in our work, social, and civic lives. Be prepared to be surprised today. Be prepared to be surprised this week. Be prepared to be surprised this year. Tomorrow is Monday the 16th, and Mercury in Pisces will trine with Jupiter in Cancer. Mercury in Pisces can appear a little aimless, a little out of focus, and we're taking in and trying to process a lot of different kinds of information when Mercury is in Pisces. That's why. But Jupiter in Cancer is really there set to rain down blessings, giving us reasons to have faith that things can really only get better from here. I hope. The trine energy makes things easy between them. So if there's something you've been looking for the words to express, trying to get off your chest, tomorrow is a really good day to try, whether that is professing your love for someone or something, or asking for a raise or pitching a big new project. This week has good vibes for speaking up about what inspires you. Now, Tuesday, the 17th, is a big day. It's the new moon in Aquarius and the first of 4 eclipses this year. This solar eclipse coming up on Tuesday is happening close to the North Pole close to the North Node in Pisces. And yeah, that's where Venus is hanging out and inviting us even more to observe what we value in terms of connection and feeling like we belong with our groups in the greater community. With an eclipse, it's like lights go out and then they come back on. So something is discovered or revealed, and it will pay for you to be open to messages you're receiving about the things that are coming to an end in your life, and how letting go of that may be good for your trajectory toward a more peaceful and relaxed way of being for us all. The North Node being in Pisces, that's really kind of what we're aiming for at this time. Probably. This is a period of planting seeds while the earth warms in the increasing sunlight. And this new moon is also the traditional Lunar New Year. The Chinese tradition celebrates the year of the fire horse this year. I don't know much about traditional Chinese astrology, but the guidance I've received is this year, risks can be taken and action will be rewarded. So here we are at the new moon. There is a solar eclipse. I don't think we'll be able to see it in North America, and it's not a total solar eclipse anyway. That won't happen for another 40 years. But this new moon, this new moon in Aquarius is really bringing us back to sort of our clean slate, right? When the moon is waning, when it's getting smaller every night, that's when we start sort of pushing things out and deciding what we no longer need for our creative process. And then we come to the new moon and we just sort of stop putting things away. Don't start taking things on yet, but what we do is we just sit with ourselves and observe what we have to work with and think about what it is that might be coming next. And with the moon, the new moon, and the sun being in Aquarius right now, that's really about our larger groups, our groups of affinity, our civic allies, our workmates, our social allies. It's really about thinking about what we can make of the plans that we have for a bigger, better community for ourselves, a stronger sense of interconnectedness. Um, right here at the new moon, we're just giving ourselves some quiet, some space and time to stop putting things away, to before we start taking things on, to think about what it is we'd like to see develop over the next few weeks for ourselves personally and out in the world. And then the moon moves on into Pisces later in the day on Tuesday. And then early on Wednesday, on the 18th, the sun moves on into Pisces. So happy birthday to all of you beautiful Pisces folks out there, with the sun and moon joining Venus, Mercury, and the North Node in Pisces this Wednesday and Thursday, especially. It may feel like we have a little chance just to relax and reflect and perhaps even celebrate in good company with people that we care about. This Thursday through Saturday, the moon will be in Aries, bringing our personal life focus around to ourselves and that sense of active initiative that it's going to take to reach our goals. And on Friday the 20th, this is when Saturn and Neptune finally meet at 0 degrees and 45 minutes of Aries. This is it. The beginning is really here on Friday. We may not even be able to describe what these days are like until we have many years to look back on them. So much is going on in the world. And people all over the place are waking up to a certain set of realities that we have not been aware of before, or that we have been somehow fooled or living in an illusion about in the past. That fog of illusion and idealism is beginning to clear away as we step into this new era, long term, where thoughts, words, and actions and experiences are to be valued above emotional and material attachments. Where we reject methods of illusion and invitations to live in denial or believe things that aren't clearly true, and where the collective benefit is more important than any individual's sense of wealth or good fortune. Suffice it to say, it's a fiery new start here at the beginning of the entire zodiac, and our cardinal fire sign Aries. Aries will begin at this time to influence us all profoundly, to be more self-aware, better equipped, more active, clear-eyed, and driven, especially where it concerns our sense of security, and where it concerns our idealism and our sense of connection to the rest of life on this planet. We're really going to be able to act on instinct while Neptune is in Aries, and that is something that's going to take at least the next 13 or 14 years. So we're really going to start learning, like when we have the impulse to act, how to just make that happen very quickly. On Saturday, the 21st, the moon moves on into Taurus. In our private lives, we may find we want to focus more on making sure we are well supplied at home and making sure we have everything we need to feel safe and supported in our private life. And then A week from today, on Sunday the 22nd, Mars will cooperate with Chiron, who's in Aries and answering to Mars. And that'll provide some encouragement to take action on the problem you want to solve, right? Acting on the instincts for the problems we want to solve. And, or to take action on a wound that you want to heal. Also, that day, Venus will trine Jupiter. This is a week from now, and it's a really beautiful signature for loving connection, for really just getting into those vibrations of uh, what we desire, what we like, love, and can't get enough of, and how we can connect ourselves to the broader culture through that sense of calling things in for ourselves. So we'll talk about all of that next Sunday. A heads up, excuse me, for a week and a half from now, not this coming Wednesday, but Wednesday the 25th, Mercury will go retrograde. That means we are already in the retrograde shadow, and the way we see things now may change in a few weeks. So, when we're making plans, when we're traveling around, when we're trying to communicate, we just want to be very clear. Turn on your turn signals, stop at the stop sign, right? Let people know what it is that you're up to, and also, read your contracts if you're going to sign contracts at this time. Just make sure you have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. That's it for this week's astrology, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. And now we are going to get into the segment of this show where Jennifer and I talk about our favorite aspects for the week. Since you're here, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Every little bit of support helps us reach our goals, and we are so grateful for that and for all of you. Welcome back, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for that information. I've got to turn up things. I got to turn it up. Turn it up.
Turn it up.
So this is a big week, and this is a week that, in my opinion, could replace like that January 1st resolution business. Like, to me, this is the time of year to start really changing up some things that you want to change, to really commit to oneself. This Saturn and Aries, is it Saturn and Neptune in
Saturn and
Aries?
Neptune meeting up in Aries.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the last thing that you were talking about was Mercury retrograde. And I have something to say about that. First of
Okay.
all, ew. Every single time Mercury in retrograde has come around for us, we we stumble upon things that we should turn away from. And
Like opportunities show up for us, and people are like, "Hey, come over here, do this. Hey, come over here, do this." And we're like, "Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun."
it does sound like a lot of fun, except for the fact that I've realized that the last Mercury retrograde, well, probably all of them that have been disastrous, they have all, and I say disastrous, like I'm pretty, I don't know, it doesn't have to be like a whole tower
It's not
card.
totally catastrophic every time, but it's often just a little change that makes a big difference for us, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I just want to say, during this time, to me, the most important thing during Mercury retrograde is to trust your gut, guidance, and intuition. Don't, to me, I mean, like, you can read the words on the contract, but if you're not listening to the words that are being said out loud before you look at the contract, before you sign the contract, um, that's where we fall short. And we need to, most of all, trust our gut guidance and intuition. Even if this thing is a really great thing that's coming to you, if there's any hesitation whatsoever, I think you should just back off. It's not for you. And this is out of experience. Like, we've
Mhm.
really kind of I don't know. It seems like, while there are some of us that are looking for those things during Mercury retrograde, and we're, communicating differently, and we're aware of it, so we know that that email may not be answered as quickly as we'd like, or maybe that email got
Mhm.
stuffed down, we need to send a text instead, or we need to talk to somebody in person instead.
Mhm.
But this time it's really about focusing on. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought with that. I was going. Thank you for being patient with me. I really struggled last night with my rheumatoid arthritis, and though today is a better day and a good day, I'm still just a little bit slow, like I've had a migraine. So as far as the Mercury retrograde goes, like really have conversations and don't just look at the black and white. You really got to think about these things. And as a matter of fact, if it comes to you, you should probably just shoo it away right now. I'm being serious, like contracts and everything right now.
Yeah.
And so this is a really strange time because this is a time where the universe is saying, "Hey, like you can go for it. You can do this. It's going to be snap, snap. We're gonna start,
All thumbs up.
acting on our motivation."
Mhm.
So it's very difficult during Mercury in retrograde to have that and then stop, just dig your heels in. And it's also really important for you to know what you want to do. Like, what is it that you want to do for the rest
Mhm.
of your life? What can you see yourself doing at least for the next 5 years? And ask yourself in regards to Mercury retrograde, if any of these things coming up for you aren't within that time frame, then you should definitely walk away and leave it. So Mercury retrograde, fun. We're in its shadow. So remember, our communication is important to say what we mean what we say. And if we're missing
Mhm.
communication, from communicate on another level.
And with that, I
Um,
just want to say, okay, so Mercury is in the retrograde shadow. It won't be retrograde for another week and a half, but
right.
while we're in the shadow, we are walking across ground that it's going to walk across again when it goes backward and walk across again when it goes forward. So that's why we want to be careful not to just like make long-term decisions right at this time without having a way to back out of them gracefully. But also Mercury is trining Jupiter this week. Venus will trine Jupiter at the end of the week, but Mercury trining Jupiter really just gives us a chance to think about the blessings that we would like to receive. Think about the way we would like things to sort of come out in the wash, the way we would like things to end, right? Not like end for good, but like the things that are coming to an end. We need to be thinking about how we would like that to happen and be communicating about that with our allies, our cohorts, our co-conspirators, our partners in crime. It's a good time to really be collaborating with people because of this Mercury trine Jupiter that's coming up tomorrow on Monday.
I'm glad that you said that because now I remember where I was getting to about Mercury retrograde. While those of us are aware of what's going on, energetically and in the universe, there are others who are not aware of these things. And I feel like this is when people will push their agenda without regard to your place in it. Okay. And I feel like this is when kind of the snaky, slimy people kind of come out and they, like it's kind of, Pisces to Aries season is just different. Like Pisces is really about the collective. Not that Aries isn't, but Aries is it's the I am. It's a
It
I
is the
go.
self.
It's the yeah. So I mean, there are a lot of people out there that are also trying to live out their dreams and give zero shits or fucks about what you want or what your dreams are. And
Mhm.
also are not going to listen to you when you speak about what it is that you want if they're really in it. Like think about when you're really in it and you're motivated and you drive something forward. Well, that other person is also in that position too.
Mhm.
So be careful who you're doing business with right now.
Yeah.
Everybody is out for themselves, and that means some people are getting left behind in a partnership, in a contract, in a something. So
Mhm.
right.
Yeah,
I don't know
a
that
new
that's my
era doesn't mean entering a new era doesn't mean that the shenanigans are going away or that people will be any better. And the truth is that we all have our own experiences and each person has their own agenda in the world. And it's based on ideas that you got from living your life. So while I'm over here espousing one set of agendas, one set of values, there are a whole bunch of people in the world who have a different set of values from me, and they're pushing their agenda, and they think
Mhm.
this is the time to really move forward on that stuff. So don't minimize the idea that we are in conflict, because conflict is going to be the name of the game for the coming years. Unfortunately, we're going to have to fight for what we value. We're going to have to fight for what gives us a sense of security and stability. We're going to have to fight for our high ideals and our connection to life on earth and the great big all of everything. We're going to have to fight for all of those things and stand up for ourselves and the people that we protect. Sorry, I talked right over you there.
Yes. Oh no, you're fine. This is the segment to do that in, right? So I don't know that I'm going to say that Mercury retrograde is my favorite, but I just because I'm a Venus and Virgo and I have a Cap rising, it is very important for me to point out the opposite side of what's going on here.
Mhm.
Like while you're do and going about your way and making your plans and doing your things, you might run into somebody who's also do,
Yeah,
and they not like us, like they're not like us.
right.
So just really think about it. If you're entering into something that you really feel like this person isn't like you, they probably aren't like you. They probably don't have the same ideals.
Mhm.
And if you feel it in the bottom of your gut, walk away. Don't even engage. Like to me, even engaging a little bit in something like that is already like bleh. Mercury retrograde is done,
Yeah.
dumped on it. And it's not a bad aspect necessarily all the time, but right now when we're going forward and then something's saying no, no,
Mhm.
it feels like that pipe and water hitting the wall again, and I
Mhm.
don't really appreciate that very much.
Okay, so what do you like from this week, including like the new moon in Aquarius and the sun moving into Pisces?
I see a little dog back there.
I have a little dog.
On my damn pillar.
Come here. Now she wants on the
I'm
other
just
side
kidding.
of the door.
So what do I like about what?
This week, with the new moon in
Oh,
Aquarius and the sun moving on into Pisces and Saturn and Neptune conjuncting.
I like the Saturn and Neptune conjuncting. Eh, and then when you say that with the sun going into Pisces, though, like here we are again. It seems like another crossroads. Like Pisces is ready to collectively like move everybody forward.
Mhm.
And Saturn in Pisces is about having a little bit more boundaries to that. Again,
Mhm.
feels like just kind of being walled in, but I like the idea of the forward motion energy that we're getting
Yeah.
regardless, and that I feel like this is where we get our brave heart, like that we really get going. Like I'm
Mhm.
not a very brave person. Like I'm rebellious, but I don't know that I'm brave. Like if given an opportunity to think just once about something, then I'm already like cowarding away, going, oh no, and I can think of 20 different things. So this hopefully is giving me some bravery to even just like walk out of my imposter syndrome, to pick up old plans that I've made, with little different boundaries, this Saturn and Neptune, like my dreams and my aspirations and all these things that I've been thinking up and dreaming up and journaling about. I'm really hoping that my Saturn will put this in a little bit of a different box for me so I can actually act now.
Mhm.
Because it seems like I've been emoting forever and it's going nowhere. No one's listening to it. No one's patting me on the head. I'm not getting any handkerchiefs or, like any of that. And that's not what I want. But I also haven't been listened to, mutable sign. And so I feel like this is an opportunity to be heard and listened to. And I think it's just an opportunity for me to be able to hear myself and listen to myself and see myself in the future and in my future dreams and plans.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that Saturn conjunct Neptune this week as well. And I just want to say, never in recorded human history has it happened like this right here. This conjunction only happens every 36-ish years. Okay. And it
Oh,
has, I just looked at a table this morning, and it happens occasionally every few hundred years in Aries. but never has it happened, as far as we know, at 0 degrees of Aries while we've been recording it. So this is brand new territory for us, and it's setting up the next 3 years, the next 13 years, the next 40 years cycle for us. So that's really exciting and a little bit scary, but I think that we can probably handle it. My favorite thing this week, though, is the new moon in Aquarius, which happens on Tuesday before the moon and sun move practically together into Pisces the next day. That new moon in Aquarius is really our opportunity. It's interesting because Aquarius it's a duality. It is about like the self and the community. It's sort of like how I am myself in connection with my community, how I get to be myself as a result of the community's actions, that kind of thing. So we want collectively, I got this impression just from growing up in the United States. We just want to be free to live our lives, to love who we love, to eat what we want to eat and live where we want to live and wear what we want to wear, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of that sort of, I'll say, selfish, that self-centered, that self-aware reasoning coming in for us right now, but it still has a lot to do because Pluto is now in Aquarius. It still has a lot to do with how it affects how our individual actions have an effect on the collective, how my individual actions have an effect on the whole wide world, or my family, my community, my state, my nation, and so on. So now that we're at this like beginning point with the new moon in Aquarius, we can be, it is interesting. Jennifer pointed out that like we still have the sun and Mercury and Venus in Pisces when everything else is moving on into Aries right now. And the big news is stuff moving on into Aries. We collectively are moving on into Aries, even before the sun and Venus and Mercury do at this time. But they will eventually meet, those planets, right at the beginning of Aries this year. These conjunctions, the Neptune and Saturn conjunction, lasts for months. It's been with us for a while in Pisces, and now it's going to be with us for a while in Aries. And all of our inner planets, our sun, our Mercury, our Venus, are going to cross over that line where Saturn and Neptune are sitting, and that's going to get activated for each and every one of us as we go. So understand that it's about the individual and the collective. It is about what the individual's actions, thoughts, words, and actions, what impact those have on everybody else, on everybody around us. We want to be the rising tide that lifts all boats when things are in Aquarius. We want to see everybody getting what they need, because if one person's going without, then in a way we're kind of all going without.
I agree. It's also about our inactivity in our communities and in our lives. Like that's the most really important thing. Our community wants us to do our best.
Uh-huh.
Our best is different. Everyone's best is different.
From day to day.
So if you're not doing your best, you might start figuring out what your best is, and you might start actually doing those things. But yeah.
Whatever it is
Yeah, I
that you're
agree with
doing, you have to give it your very best. And if you're not, right?
Right. And your very best doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean the thing that you dreamt up that it would look like in your head. And I'm saying this to myself. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be anything except for what you've created. I do love the new moon in Aquarius. I like Aquarian people. Sometimes they get a little far out there, like other dimensional for me, but I can go extra amount of dimensions with them until they all flying. And I'm like, oh, baby, is my Capricorn rising will allow me to fly that high. Okay.
Jennifer's like, I'll be
So
down here
I'll
on Earth
ground
when you're
y'all.
ready.
Right. I'll ground you. I'll be the string on your little balloon when it needs to come back in. But I just love this energy. And you said the last 36 years, I started trying to do calculations in my brain, but every 36 years or whatever, I wish I knew all of these, how these planets move and how many years, because I could really track what was going on in my
Well,
life.
1990.
I think I did do
1990. would be the last.
Oh, 1990.
Yeah.
Wow. What a great year, though, for
It
me.
was right before we graduated high school, wasn't it? Like, talk
It
about.
was. Yeah, I was, wow, I was really on top of my game then.
Yeah.
Oh, to be young again. But anyway, reality strikes. Okay, so you like the new moon in Aquarius,
Mhm. You like
and I like it all,
it all.
but I really like the Saturn and Neptune in Aries. I do like the Mercury retrograde, only because now from here on out until Mercury goes direct, I'm going to like sideline a lot of my big projects that are very important to me because I don't want to get screwed over.
Right.
I don't want to screw over myself or anything
Jump
like
into
that. So
anything because you think that it looks
right.
like the water looks good now, but you know that your planning isn't complete. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a little thing we both
Some
we both struggle with, so.
yes. So that listening to that gave me like listening to us talk gave me an idea about, what it is that I can put on my back burner because, I have a lot of irons in the fire.
Mhm.
So yay,
Yay.
astrology for this week. So with Saturn, Neptune, and Aries. So Saturn rules, let's talk zodiac. Saturn
Okay.
rules Capricorn
Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius.
and
So if
Aquarius.
you
Oh,
have
okay. So
Capricorn, Sun,
wow.
Moon, or Rising, or Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, I have an Aquarius Moon, then this is gonna have a big impact on you. You're gonna see some kind of new start,
Right.
and again, that comes back to the house that it's in. So if you don't know what your rising sign is, you won't know what house of your chart this is happening in. So please get in touch with so we can help you out with that.
Right. So Saturn is Aquarius and Capricorn.
Mhm.
And then of course we have Aries, that's a fire sign. And Capricorn is an earth sign and Aquarius is an air sign.
Saturn is and
um
is not at its best when it's in Aries. It's not, like Aries is
no,
very impulsive. It wants you to act on instinct. It wants you to shoot from the hip. And that's just not Saturn's style. Saturn has a
right.
plan, it has a time frame, and it's not going to move any faster than it really wants to. So it can be a really uncomfortable fit for those of us Saturn people for the next 3 years with Saturn in Aries for sure. It's definitely going to be fighting for those Aquarian things that you value.
Yay. I've been fighting Saturn my whole life. I think I know how to I got a little dog in this fight. Well, we might have a little dog in this fight.
Well, you have more than one dog in this fight too, because Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces and Sagittarius. So if you have Pisces or Sagittarius,
Oh,
Sun, Moon, or Rising, powerful placements going on in your chart, then you are going to also be feeling this conjunction and this really sense of new beginning with Neptune being right at the beginning of Aries.
right. And think about this, folks. If you're listening to this about the air signs and all that kind of stuff, and that we're talking about new beginnings, that we're talking about new starts, unfortunately, this is also going to be a lot of endings. And unfortunately, that would mean death. That would mean the ending of relationships. And Saturn likes long relationships. So don't be surprised if there are some breaks in these old patterns and these old chains and these old ways of doing.
Yeah.
To me, with this Saturn in my Pisces is like, bring it, Saturn, because I'm really about everyone and not just you. And I don't give a shit about the rules. So I think this is a really rebellious and then forward motion with the Aries,
Mhm.
like, yes,
Yes.
get shit done.
Yes.
Get shit
Set it on
done.
fire.
Mini get shit done. I love it because I'm so lazy, Libra. So anyway, I'm gonna stop because I'm just gonna keep doing mini mall things. And we're going to end this segment, and we're going to not so. Uh,
Gracefully.
oh, I forgot to put up your Friday graphic, my love. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
I was listening. If that makes any sense. If that makes any. Let me add my
Table
little
here.
tarot table here.
I wonder what the
I
cards are
wonder
going to
what the
say.
card.
All right, it doesn't have to
All
be
right, it doesn't have to be perfect.
perfect. All right,
All
I've got
right.
my tiny tarot
Tiny
cards
tarot
today.
cards today.
For some reason I've got a big echo here and I'm afraid it's going to come across.
Yeah, I'm turning down.
Yeah, I'm turning down.
Handling some.
I'm handling some
microphone.
microphone.
It's basically have a lot.
It's
of
basically have a
microphones.
lot of microphones going.
I think that's better.
Okay, I do.
Okay, I do too.
Maybe not mine.
Maybe
I'll
mine.
turn off
Maybe
this
I'll turn off
microphone
this
for me
for
and
me
keep on my
and keep.
phone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe it'll work.
So this week's reading,
Yes.
you just like to do a reading and get the feel for the energy.
I do. If you would like me to pull a card for something you'd like to know about, I can do that.
I just think that this period of time is all about endings and beginnings, noticing what is closing out in our lives, noticing what is trying to go away, and noticing what is trying to show up as well. Especially with a new moon this week, it's really just noticing. It's not about necessarily doing anything about it. So can we do like a card for endings and a card for beginnings?
Sure. Let's do a card for endings and card for beginnings. You can still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I've just kind of flipped around some microphones.
Yeah.
I have my tiny tarot cards because they fit my tiny hands. Oh, of course, this such a Saturn card.
Oh yeah, endings.
Wait, you said endings and beginnings?
Uh-huh.
We're starting with endings first.
I would prefer to.
Okay. I would prefer to get this a little bit more. There we go. Endings and beginning, or endings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So karmic endings. To me, this really is about, and personally for me, it's about work. Again, it's about what is it that will make you happy, that you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life. What is it? What is the thing? And we have to be really honest about that. What is it that you can see yourself doing over and over and over again that's going to enrich your life, enrich other people's lives, if you're, touching other people's lives, which I think we all do every time we do something, in the positive. And yeah, I think I just keep seeing that repetition, like, do you want to work your body? Do you want to work your body into a wheelchair for someone else taking tons of your money out of your pocket? Or do you want to work for yourself? Do you want to figure out something that you want to do? Like, the sky's the limit, Aquarius says. Pisces says, hey, we'll support you. The whole community will support you. If you want to sell that thing, then go put it out there and we'll buy it from you. And please think about all of your creative, first and foremost, all of your creative outlets that could possibly, help keep the roof over your head. Like, I despise capitalism, but we're living in it right now and we still need fucking money. So, like, do whatever it is that makes you happy, more of an individual approach and not working for the man. And something more creative, like something you've always wanted to do and you just can't put your foot forward. Right now is the best time to do that. Right. And it's also about taking care of our health. Those pentacles there are about our health, wealth, finances, and things that we own. So, if you're saving up for a ski do for August, now is the time to work and start stocking money away, But yeah, for endings, it's about ending in ways in which we've always done something and thinking about what it is that will make us really happy, like not just for 6 hours of a day, you know what I mean? Happy in a real sense.
I definitely see all of that, like paying attention to what it is you think you can do over and over again. And I do see some of like the repetitive work that we've been doing coming to an end. But what Jennifer said about always doing your best, it applies to endings as well. When you see things coming to an end, what do? Do you resist allowing them to end? Do you end them too quickly without enough, conversation or consideration? We want to do our best with these endings that we're coming to. And like when I think about the work that I have done over the past 25 years, I've been a massage therapist for almost 25 years. And that means I have now given almost 10,000 massages.
Wow.
Um, wow, right? So, if that is something that is coming into an end for me in my life, not that massage is coming to an end for me in my life, but perhaps the way I have been doing it, I need to be a little more conscious about what new beginnings might be ahead of me, what sort of better ways to work might be ahead of me, what might what might show a little more, I don't know, what might show a little more stability for me, but also, we're ending things in terms of I lost it. In terms of what has gone before, something new has to come in. So, am I going to keep doing massages? Probably, because that's basically how I make my living. But I'm also keeping my eyes peeled for other things to do repetitively that can also support me and help me feel like I have everything that I need at my disposal, helping me feel secure and safe. Even as we move into Saturn and Aries, which is really about having to sometimes about having to fight for what makes you feel secure and safe. So, just the things that are coming to an end, be careful what it is that you're getting ready to fight for. Right? You're going to fight for your right to support yourself. You're going to fight for your right to maintain a steady income. You're going to fight for your right to do the work that sustains you. But you don't have to fight for the right to keep working as hard as you were before, or to keep doing it the same way, you know, ad nauseum for the rest of your life. We can always find a new way to go forward.
Yes, I agree with that.
All right.
Mhm. All right. So that's the endings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about just, the themes of us, like, where are we living? Is our office space? Where do we create? We have all these areas that we need to create for ourselves. And
Yeah, and we've been making attempts at a fresh start. So, like we know that something like that is coming up for us.
yes, absolutely. All right. So what's coming in?
Beginnings. Oh, bum bum bum.
Well, I mean, like, look, our relationship with goodness, there's something really allergic going on out here. Our relationship with authority is going to have a bright new perspective.
Yes. Our relationship to authority is changing right now. I
Yes.
I don't know how much I should say about that, but, I'll tell you what I want to say about it very quickly, and that is that we have now come to realize that the people who are really in charge of things in our world overall do not believe in the things that they espouse. They do not think of people, of women and children especially, as things that are to be protected. Rather, they think of people, and especially children and women, as things that are to be exploited and given to the highest bidder. We are aware of that now. Are we going to continue to allow these people to be in leadership?
Right. And I mean, for us, uh, city council signs are going up, mayoral race signs are going up. Like, this is the time that if you want to participate in political politics as they are,
Mhm.
then this is the perfect time and season for you
And I,
to.
I want to talk specifically to our Gen X followers too, because I've heard a lot lately about how there aren't a lot of people from our generation holding the levers of power. We haven't run for office, or if we have run for office, we haven't gotten into office. We don't necessarily show up in those spaces for leadership, to provide leadership. And I know a lot of us think or feel as though that's partly because the generation before us, the baby boomers, they still are like grasping on to that control, holding on to it for dear life. You see it in the sort of age of our elected officials, our senators, our governors, our representatives. They're not all baby boomers, but a lot of them are. And for some reason, people from our generation have really struggled to step up and show leadership, which is what that Hierophant card says. It's a beginning. It's a beginning of new leadership. It's a beginning of showing the world what you know, what you've learned, that you know how to play the game, and sort of passing on your wisdom from a place of authority.
Yeah, I mean, you're becoming your own Hierophant. You're rediscovering your own rules and the way in which you play by them, and what rules work, what rules don't work.
Mhm.
And I understand about the Gen X stuff. Like, anytime we did something wrong, there was someone there to criticize us, and not just criticize us, but to let us know what a worthless piece of blah, 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 and why the hell did you do this way?
Shame. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a lot of shame and a lot of like, you're never going to amount to nothing kind of stuff. And that's why we don't pull the trigger, because there's always at least one person there. And for us, if we go and we tell our parents or our siblings or something, like, I have a sibling that's Gen X, so do you, don't you? No. Yeah, you do. They're like, they're just as confused, and they're just as willing to give you the same rules that our parents or grandparents or whoever it is. But for us, it's parents that are the boomers. And whilst it's not all of them, we're still, for some reason, which is kind of chaotic and ridiculous to me, still trying to live up to their standards. We still somehow want to prove to them that we are worthy,
That we deserve
that we deserve, that
anything.
we're not worthless pieces of lazy blah blah blah. Like, we're not that. Although, like, all of us contain a lazy gene, right? But yeah, wow. If this isn't the energy of me right now in these two tarot cards, I don't know what is.
Well,
This is like, damn the man. Like,
another thing I see here is, on the ending side, we have that 8 of coins, and it's really like, okay, we're going to put an end to business as usual. Like, doing things the same old way is not working for us. However, the Hierophant being over there on the beginning side says, we are going to create the new business as usual. Okay. It's not that business as usual is over and there will never be business as usual again.
no.
It's that we are establishing a new set of rules, a new foundation, a new ideology that we all can live on, hopefully a little more supported throughout our communities and our nations and our world.
This gives me a great segue to say, if you are local to Kansas City, Missouri, in the southern area, the rural areas, Mel and I are going to start conducting some conversations with other people who are LGBTQIA plus and conservative, because we all need to learn how to talk with one another. And our goal is to find our common ground through those talks without, name calling and all that kind of stuff. And we're really looking for Gen X and older to participate in that. So if you're watching and you can physically be in the southern Kansas City area to meet for a Reckon Circle, then please, give us a shout somewhere here. Or send us an email and let us know. Okay. So I challenge you to start having conversations with people that you don't agree with, that that you don't agree with, and just try to figure it out. Like, we need to create some safe spaces for each other to have conversation about the things that we're talking about, and
it's challenging. It can be really difficult. Mercury is in Pisces right now. It's in its retrograde shadow. That's going to make it a little bit more strained to try and really profess ourselves or like express ourselves. But it's important. I have Mercury and Aries in my chart, so I really am familiar with this feeling of Mercury, not Mercury and Aries. I have Mercury and Pisces in my chart. I'm really familiar with this feeling of Mercury and Pisces. It does, give you challenges to self-expression, but it doesn't mean that you cannot express yourself. It just means that you have to be a little more thoughtful, a little more careful about how you're using your words when you express yourself. It's really like trying to take many things into consideration and sort of get to the point as well, like say things as succinctly as possible. So it's challenging to have those conversations, especially with people that we know don't agree with us, especially with people that, we are worried we will not find common ground with. It's really challenging to have those conversations, but it is so worth the while, because even even the humpiest Trump humper I know has some things in common with me. I give massages for a living. I don't pick and choose who I get to massage. Okay. They just come in and pay for a massage and I give it to them. So I'm working with everybody, and I can always find something in common with somebody who is on my table, regardless of what I perceive the rest of their life to be about.
I agree. I've always been able to have conversations with people who don't agree with me. I have to admit, the last couple of years, I've been a little bit too emotional to have those conversations. I have a mutable moon sign, and trust and believe everyone in my life has muted me in some way, shape, or form through all those years, which has built up, anger and resentment. But it's not anything that I hold on to. And gosh, I forgot where I was going with that.
Just the challenge of those conversations.
Oh, and I'm ready now to have those conversations. I've been in therapy again. I've been in therapy my whole life since I was 7. I've been in therapy, I guess, for the last a little over a year. And we've actually been working on, being able to talk assertively as opposed to aggressively, because social media has given us an outlet of conversation that is not one that is familiar to me. I have a higher education that is kind of keeps me from, I don't know how to say it, but I have a higher education that keeps me from understanding or learning some of the things like other people do. And so,
Yeah, your perspective is just different from
yeah,
some other people. Yeah.
right. And my perspective is often different from everyone. It is often new, challenging, eye-opening, that kind of thing. So, but if you're that person, if you're that trailblazer, if you've never seen like this happen before, if you've never seen this idea happen before, this is your time to shine, my friends. It is.
It is.
Mhm. So, I kind of like this reading. I didn't even realize that it was the I think I get the 7 and the 8 of Pentacles confused, and I do like that this is the 8 of Pentacles, because I was thinking it was the 7 of Pentacles, because I'm like, oh, lovely. Uh, and yeah, the Hierophant. We're going to see a lot of changes, just like all over. Like I said, deaths, replacements, the endings of
Foundations, establishment
marriages.
of
Yeah,
new
yeah,
faiths and religions and governments. This is where we are at right now.
right. And I'm just hoping that is the fall of the systems that no longer work for the American people.
Follow the system that's failing us.
Right. In a way that doesn't endanger our lives or take any more lives from us.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a big week astrologically, and I'm so glad that you were here with Mel and I to talk with us, to listen to us, to share with us what's going on. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. When we get 1,000 subscribers, we're going to give away a bunch of tarot card readings. I said 10. I don't know. I might be a little bit more generous, because it's going to be a really happy. It's going to be one of those happy days when we hit 1,000 subscribers. It's not quite easy when we're not, relying on the AI or having something automatically generate something for us. Like we're doing our best and we're putting it out here. We just want to share what's on our heart, what's in the stars, what's in the cards with you, and share what, just hopefully something that you can relate with. And next week, it's your week to take by the reins, like it's really time for us to move forward, perfect your to-do lists and actually do them. I've been asking my friends for the last couple of months, like, what are your lists? What are your big lists? Put the most difficult one first. And I've even told them, like, hey, the most difficult one, if you need help, I'll support you. Because then I'm going to show you what my most difficult one is. And maybe you can add to that. Or like, maybe you can help me with that. But And also, always, 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 if you can, and if you are in a place where you can bear witness to something, please do so. Don't keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, if you see something going down that you know is not right, you definitely need to stick around and at least see what happens,
Right.
okay?
Take
We
that
really
how it resonates.
for one another, especially the least of these, the most vulnerable people in our communities. They require our protection. That's why we live together in society. You know, human beings. Nobody does any of this by ourselves. You know, self-sufficiency is not really the peak of human expression that we think it is. It's actually our ability to rely on others and to be reliable to others as well.
Thank you so much, Mel, for being here with me today. And thank you, everybody out there watching. If you haven't again, please subscribe. Click the notification bell just in case we go live and do something fun. And meet us again here next
Mhm.
week at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes.
Yes.
Much love,
Have a
friends.
great work. Have a great week, everyone.
We'll
And we'll
catch
see you next Sunday.
you.